Hello, beautiful people of Earth, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are combining two of my favorite forms of media, which is A, Sims 4 speed builds, obviously, and B, Pinterest. For those of you who don't know, I love fall, okay? I don't really love pumpkin spice or anything. I'll drink one. My friend Kaylin, she just loves pumpkin spice drinks, so I'll get one with her, a little pumpkin chai or something. But I just love warm, cozy weather. I like slasher movies. I like cozy feelings. I like the smell of cinnamon and pine, and I love carving pumpkins, and I love soup. So I am a fall girl. I'm a holiday season girl, but I like fall. And as a middle child who mildly has attention issues, I don't like all attention, only positive attention. Halloween is made for me, okay? And I'm kind of in this era where I'm at the age where it's still like mildly acceptable to kind of have my butt hang out because I love a little slutty costume. But I also love being iconic and hilarious. So I will also be being a funny gal for Halloween. I haven't completely decided on my costume, but the first round of bald caps to see if I can paper mache the piece that I'm going to try to make so I can do my OG idea is here. Stay tuned for updates. But in order to get in the spirit of things, I thought it would be nice to do a really like kind of cozy build that really embodies what I like about fall overall. I've said it once and I will say it again. I personally am not a Thanksgiving girl. I'm not there for the food. I am a host. I do like to host. I do like to cook, but it can be a bit stressful. And in years prior, Halloween or Thanksgiving's not, it's just not my favorite. Doesn't stand out. I like having a couple days off work, not gonna lie. But I do firmly live and die by the idea that Thanksgiving is essentially the rehearsal dinner of Christmas dinner or whatever kind of winter holiday you celebrate. For me and my family, we celebrate Christmas. And it's a nice time to kind of check in to see where everyone's at. Who's lost their marbles politically? Who is no longer a sane, respectful individual? Who's just weird? Who doesn't have good hygiene? Who's still married? Who's about to not be married anymore? It's a really nice time to see things, right? And I just think it's important that you tailor your guest list to the primetime event, which is your winter holiday dinner celebration, obviously. So I'm not like big into it. I like that I get to keep out like my extra throw pillows and a couple decorations in the name of trying to cut down on being an overconsumption girly. I try very hard to be a low consumption girly, but I'm not perfect. I do like a little fall decor. I try to make sure I buy mostly genuine fall decor. So like my Halloween decor and my fall decor can kind of like double over. I have a few pieces that are just designated Halloween pieces. But everything else, like normally it's like, okay, it's September. We'll put away like a handful of those items that are just boo, scary ghost kind of things. And we'll leave the rest out. And that's assuming that I don't just take my Christmas decorations out. That's also one reason I don't spend a lot of money on it. But I do like the warm, cozy feeling. Thus, this build that I found on Pinterest because I scroll Pinterest way too stinking much. You know when you go on your phone and it tells you like overall screen time and where you've spent it? Just know that I spent a lot of time on Pinterest, more than you would think, okay? At least that's what I thought. And you know what I've recently discovered? I don't know. I never like thought that they didn't, but I didn't know so many guys like Pinterest. And I was recently talking to some of my friends. They're like, yeah, this is where I get all my tattoo ideas. One of my friends was showing me like ideas for their new apartment. I was like, oh, okay. This is a shared space. That's cool. Didn't know that though. And I was like, oh my God, like common ground, because who doesn't eat Pinterest up? And I personally eat it up. And it is the back half of the year. In my brain, like January is the front half. November, December, back half. We're in the back half of the year. This is the Super Bowl of Pinterest's time to shine. We're DIYing costumes. We're learning how to wrap presents. We're getting inspiration for Sims builds and holiday decor for the major player holidays. So I just know Pinterest traffic is going to be up. Looking for a couple gift ideas. I'm terrible at asking for Christmas gifts. And all in all, just really excited. Me and my friends, we be sending a lot of things to each other on Pinterest. That is for sure. And I actually at one point was going to be a Pinterest influencer back when I was like, I don't know, maybe a freshman in college. It actually wasn't bad. Like I still see some of my stuff that I like put up and I was like, okay, like not like the slayest, but like not slay either. And I will say, this Pinterest holds a special place in my heart, and it gives me a lot of build inspo. I always tell people when they're stuck on what to build, or they want to kind of push their bounds for how they know how to build in The Sims 4, go on Pinterest. It's a good place to kind of try to practice. Not everything obviously translates over perfectly because one is real life and one is The Sims, but it's a really great place to start. I know for me personally, it can be really helpful when deciding on a color scheme for the exterior of a build, specifically the build that we're doing today, because I use numerous different kinds of wallpapers. I think I use a stone, a siding, and a brick. Not to mention, like, I don't know if this counts, but like the little baseline foundation paint, and I just love the way it came out, and I actually think it really kind of looks a lot like the picture, if I do say so myself. If you don't agree, that's super cool. Please don't tell me. I've had a challenging week. I've been on a mild string of bad luck. For those of you who were here when my bike got stolen, shout out to you one time, but that was just one in a series of unfortunate events. If you don't know about the bike, I'm not gonna work myself up. I can't have my blood pressure being raised that high this late at night, but I will link that video of me telling that story during that little speed build at the end of this video. But make sure you finish this one first, or come back, whatever you want. I'm whisper yelling. I don't know. Well, I was at work the other day, and I went to get a little sweet treat snack. I don't know. It's like 11 a.m. I don't even remember what I was doing because this whole event happened. I used to have a car. I no longer have that car anymore. I had to get a different car for a lot of reasons, but someone totaled the spaceship. Gone. I called my car the spaceship. She didn't have a name, she had a title because she was that slay. And that car and I had been through quite a lot together. At various points in my life, it was the only thing that I had. Took me to college, saw me through my little breakups, and I mean, I am upset about the car. I'm sure, like, you can tell, like, I get weirdly sentimentally attached to things, but honestly, when it happened, I was just like, it happens, stuff happens, it's just stuff. No one was hurt. That's great. You know, and I'm trying to be calm. I really pride myself on being someone who's relatively calm, believe it or not, because I know how I tell stories, but I'm in my peak office. I'm in my own world. But in the natural world, I'm relatively calm, especially in kind of high stress situations. So I'm doing my best to be pretty calm. It's just stuff. This man, he's in like some kind of like worker van. I don't know if it was actually his like work van, but it looked like one of those like sliding glass door big white vans that like a lot of catering companies use, but a bigger one, like a medium-sized one. It's pretty big. Well, my car's kapooted. You know. But he came over and he was yelling at me. And I was like, okay, not everyone's calm like I am. So I'm just like gonna let him calm down. I'm not gonna get out of my car. He calms down after a few minutes of like yelling into the sky. I was like, listen, bub, no one's here. No one's here. And I rolled my window down and he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I kind of feel like he saw me and thought I was just going to like offer him money. I know that's a big thing in like the area I live in because a lot of people don't have car insurance or they don't want their premiums to go up or whatever. I wasn't doing that. I'm a rule follower. Hello, 911? I didn't call 911. I called the non-emergency line. But the non-emergency line was like, oh, because where you are, we actually, like, officers aren't going to respond to that. Okay. I also pride myself on being able to figure things out. I've never done this before. The car I had bought before I turned 18, so it's technically in my mom's name, and she technically has the insurance for it, and like that's just how we kept it, because why spend the money to swap it around when there's no point? So I'm like trying to call her. She's at work. It's no big deal. She's like very, very worried about me. I'm like, Mom, I got this. Okay, I'm a man's man. I got this. I am like trying to figure it out, and this guy's like really has attitude, like very diva behavior on his part. Was like, what do you want to do? I said, I already called, non-emergency. The lady I spoke to was really nice. She patched me through to highway patrol, and the highway patrol person like got caught up and was like, we don't normally send people because of where you are. And I said, look, I'm gonna be so for real with you. I am not in the safest area. I really wasn't. I was definitely in one of the highest crime rated areas in the particular city in which I live. I said, I am 5'5", 5.5 feet tall, maybe on a good day. that man is screaming at me. And whilst he is screaming at me, there were some people who look like they like substances. There was a tweaker. I'm not gonna lie. Crackhead. There was a crackhead. And he brought the crackhead over to my car, and the crackhead was knocking on my window and like screaming at me on this man's behalf. And he's like trying to like rally support. And I'm like, whatever. And like, this is kind of pissing me off, you know, because I only like positive attention. I told you. I'm doing my best. Okay. So it's making me mad, but I'm like trying to be calm. Highway patrol sends someone, takes a while, but he's like getting mad. And I'm like, okay, it's been like an hour. I'm just going to see if I can figure this out myself, like with the insurance. And I'm trying to talk to him. So I get out of my car finally. This man, not the man who I was dealing with, another man comes over, gets in my face. Like, you know when someone like walks up like way too close to you? That's what he did. I'm an offensive person. I'm an aggressive, offense human. If you come at me, you might catch my paws. I'm just going to be for real. Please don't cancel me. He was like, ma'am, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. I said, can you get the F away from me? I was not having it. I was not being a nice girl. He was in my space. It was very evident that something was going on as half my car was not attached to the other half of my car, right? What, you don't want to talk to me? No, I don't. Can you get away from me? I'm not gonna lie, I took a step forward. I was ready. And he was like, you're not very nice. And he walked away. You know what? You're right. I earned it. So I just go back to what I'm doing. But like, who gets hit on whilst in a fender bender, car accident, whatever? Well, apparently I do, because it didn't just happen once. As I'm standing there trying to get the info with this man, another man comes out. He was like, girl, I saw the whole thing. No, you didn't. You weren't here. You just pulled in. He's like insistent on giving me his number. I'm like, I don't want your number. Get away from me. Please. Well, then he leaves. Fucking like 5 minutes go by. He comes back. He was like, it was really heavy on my heart. I need to give you this number. Gives me his sticky note with his phone number on it. I was like, thanks. Toss. I didn't litter. I'm not gonna lie. I'm afraid of littering. I don't know what I did with it, but I didn't call him. Okay. Shocker. Thankfully, Highway Patrol finally gets there, and I'm calm enough. I mean, I did yell at the man, and I was not very nice to the other guy who insisted on giving me his phone number. I might be the bad guy in the story. In my personal view, and the way I'm telling it, I wasn't. I don't know. I'm telling the Highway Patrol man what happened. Lo and behold, here comes somebody else involving themselves in something that has nothing to do with them. Another man walks up. I'm like leaned against my car. Highway Patrol's like trying to look at it. He gets weirdly close, like in my face. I finally snap. I said, can I effing help you? I didn't say effing. I said it. I said it with my whole chest. Yes, I did. And then the guy who I've been dealing with the whole time was like, no, it's okay. That's my cousin. This is a middle-aged man. This man could have birthed me. If I don't have an emotional support cousin, you don't get one either. This man, it's like, it's my cousin. It's fine. I said, actually, because now I've got to pop up. I have to be a diva. I have to leverage my attitude. I said, actually, it's not fine. It's actually not even a little okay. This is the 32nd random person you've had come up and try to like intimidate me with your vibe, your energy, with what you think happened when it's really not a big deal. I don't really care what happened. You seem to care a lot. If you don't get him away from me, I'm going to burn him with that cigarette in his hand. Was that the appropriate way to go about things? No, it wasn't. I admit that. I apologize. However, Highway Patrol was like, yeah, he really should probably get away from us. Thanks, dude. Thanks for helping. I actually was really appreciative of him. He was really nice to me. But at the time, I probably shouldn't have snapped like that. I should not have threatened that man. But moral of the story, don't mess with me. Don't smoke cigarettes. And stuff is just stuff. It's okay. Things happened. RIP the spaceship. Is what it is. But everyone's okay. But I'm on a string of bad luck, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Anywho, long story short, I'm okay. I'm doing better, but I kind of felt like I was into a string of bad luck, which is also part of the reason that I have been trying to really center my inner peace. Thank goodness it is beautiful and kind of getting into that fall time. I am in Florida, so it's only so fall, if you will. But I have some spooky Halloween nails on. I made a pot of chili. I've been making soup. I am making pumpkin bread this weekend, which I'm really excited about. I've never made any, so I will definitely update you guys. And I'm just really focusing on centering my own peace. And that is part of the reason I have been live, laugh, loving my Sims builds. I've been having such a good time getting back into the groove of building and playing. And I'm really happy that you guys are here. This is such a switch up from the person who just told you that she threatened to burn a man with his own cigarette. But I will tell you, sometimes you have to stand on business. I don't know if that's really what I did, but that's how I'm justifying it to myself. And I'm going to be so for real with you guys. If you don't agree with me, that's okay, but like maybe don't tell me. Let me be delusional. Please. Please, 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 please. But the build itself is coming together. I don't really know who I imagine lived here. I know overall it does have an almost older style, but that's also because I wanted something that fit in the world. I was thinking about it when I was choosing what kind of style of home I wanted to build when I was hunting down my Pinterest inspo, and I was like, I don't even know if I've ever really built in Windenburg. And I had like I thought of one other time quite a long time ago, and I definitely built a sort of Scandinavian style, like kind of modern-esque home, if you will. And I don't know if I built it in Windenburg because it fit the style or if it's because I just liked the lot I built on. But this is the first time I've ever really built that kind of like craftsman-y. I don't know if that's like what you call it, but you guys know what I'm talking about with like the fancy slots on all the exterior paint and things. And I just love how cozy this overall build felt. You just know that when you walk in here, it smells like those cinnamon sticks that you can get at the grocery store. And I would like to think that there's like snickerdoodle cookies on the counter. I added in some space for a dog and a cat, which I don't typically do, but I was trying to have some like primary colors, then like pops of color. So I used that teal color of the kitchen, and then pops of yellow here and there, and then this almost like moody plum purple. Felt right for the energy that I've been having lately, if you will. We are moving on upstairs to the bedrooms. This home is only a 2-bedroom home. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, Tiana, you might have been able to fit 3 bedrooms. What is that hot mess express behind this room with the twin beds in it? I fiddled. I bulldozed. I restarted. I tried to make a bigger floor plan. It wasn't in the cards for us. Now, I know that that's ugly. And I know that, honestly, it's probably like a crime against the laws of building in The Sims. It might be. I might be a rebel without a cause. The cause in this particular instance is that it's what made the most sense to me, and it helped me feel like the build looked okay. Please, like, you know what? You actually can come for me for this. I deserve it, but I still stand by it. There was no other way I could figure out how to have additional bedrooms, and I thought about leaving it open, but it didn't leave for like a solid wall, and it made the bedroom shape just so bizarre. And I was like, for what? Like, in the name of space? Like, I have this nice balcony. I did all this, that, and none of the bedrooms have very good natural light. Like, there's just not a lot of windows, and that's because the style of the roof and how it kind of develops in The Sims. But luckily they have these like nice double doors that go onto the balcony at the very least. And I like all the like light and bright colors. It's a nice mix up from the rest of the build. But again, it's the children's like room. I don't know if maybe this is like their grandparents' house. Maybe it's just a smaller family home. I don't know. I honestly did twin beds because I was like, oh, they can sleep in additional sim without an additional room. Lid. I also love those beds from the Horse Ranch expansion pack. It paired so nicely with that little shelf from the Little Simsy like office kit that I can't remember the name of. But through and through, it came out pretty good. So it really is a pretty small house, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. You could probably make an extension, maybe where the screened-in porches, and just take away the screened-in windows, make that mildly bigger, and probably have a 3rd additional bedroom if you really wanted to. But this house, in its all honesty, is not super playable because, again, it's not very big, and I am willing to bet you it is expensive. I am not exactly the kind of gal who balls on a budget when building in The Sims 4, and I think that is mildly relatable. However, I do appreciate a really playable house, which means more limited packs, more limited budget. And I can tell you, after the couple of weeks I had between the bike and the car, I wasn't doing it. Plus, guys, I have this saying. My birthday's coming up, and I always tell everyone, I'm like, I have bad luck on my birthday. And before you're like, no, you don't. I just want to let you know there's 365 days in the year. 365, depending on what kind of calendar you believe in. My Nana passed away on my birthday when there are 364 other days for her to do it. What an attention whore, for starters. So rude. Really damper the day. But I remember that year particularly. Someone I was seeing was like, yeah, we celebrate birthdays, Tiana. I was like, please don't. I have bad luck, and I feel like the more I push against that, the more the universe fucking comes for me. They were like, no, we're doing it. Well, it felt pretty bad when I had to look this really, really nice lady in the face and be like, hey, remember how you ever celebrating my birthday? Actually, I have to go home. My grandmother died. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, sorry. She was like, don't say sorry. I was like, I don't really know what to say in this situation. She's like, I don't really know what to say in this situation either. I was like, I told you so. I don't know. And because of that, I have the tendency to get kind of down in the dumps. But this year, I'm hoping to stay in high spirits. I'm not celebrating. I might make like a fun little birthday build. I haven't decided yet. But I'm kind of thinking I just stay home and make some fun soup. I've been really liking making soup. It's so relaxing. You just do a little chopping, put on some background noise. I told you guys I stand watching like my cozy TV shows. I might start rewatching Game of Thrones. It's been a while. But I just finished, or I'm starting to finish up Walking Dead. I'm not finished yet. Please don't spoil it. Please don't spoil it. Please don't spoil it. Guys, I'm a slow TV gal. I'm a book reader. It takes me 5 hours to get through a TV series. But as we pop through and we do the landscaping, we're kind of coming to the end of the build. And I know we bounced around a lot, but do not fret, for we are going to jump in game for a live tour. Almost right now, but in a few seconds. And all in all, I think it came together really well. So I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, team, we have made it to the final tour of our build. And as you can see, I built in the world of Windenburg, which I never really built in this lot over here in the Winsler neighborhood. As we come on through, you can see the final stages of this build. And can I just say, I am obsessed with this lot. I mean, it is truly, truly stunning. Like the trees in the background. This house is so fitting to the overall world. And I never really built in this style, which is kind of what inspired me to do this. I was thinking, wow, I really want to build in the Windenburg. Oh my God, it's got this cute little like creek to go fish off of. Okay. I might actually have to play in this house, but it came together so beautifully. I'm really obsessed with it. Where are my columns? That's embarrassing. One moment. All right, now that we got that fixed, we can go on into the actual tour of the house, but the exterior is 100% my most favorite part. You walk into this beautiful entryway with this like nice kind of stone path. I did a little gallery wall. Ooh. Gosh, the mistakes today. And I used the new staircase from the Enchanted by Nature pack, and I just thought it was really fitting. It's like intricate and woodsy, but it's not so intricate like some of the staircases and railings that come with the For Rent pack, which I think are beautiful, but not really the same vibe. Into the entryway, we have some like clutter. I absolutely love this mirror from the Lovestruck expansion pack. It feels so lived in and real. And then we have the living room, which is actually something I really do enjoy. It feels so homey. There's a lot of seating. This couch is from the Growing Together expansion pack, and it pairs so nicely with these little chairs. These two chairs are from the Horse Ranch pack, and this chair is from Cats and Dogs, tied together by this beautiful Growing Together living room rug and this fantastic archway from Growing Together. I stand the build stuff and Growing Together. Then you come in here, and I actually use this really beautiful teal cabinetry from Cottage Living, and I am obsessed with it. I of course place like this some little pops of yellow. There's some room for a dog, nice beautiful patches of sunflowers and just nice color. Then we have this entryway, more photos, just a lot of clutter to make it feel like lived in. I do feel like this wall all in all ended up like a little empty looking. What the heck is this? And that I'm not super thrilled about, but maybe some wall sconces would add into it. But this big beautiful window from the Get Together pack is so good. Oh, I love the windows I use in this pack. I don't get to use them often. And then we just have this like kind of planting sunroom porch. I wanted it to be a screened-in porch, and I think it came together really nice. It is relatively small, but live and learn, and it comes with the territory of the house. Then you come upstairs. We have a very, very small hallway. We have a cutesy little primary bedroom. Nothing too crazy, but more colorful than I typically do, especially for these like older style homes. And I again used the Enchanted by Nature doors because they felt really true to the style of the house. I don't know if that's actually true, like don't come for me, but I really enjoy the way they came together all in all. I like the detail on everything. I love that it has a lot of like character, if you will. Then we have the one and only bathroom in the hallway. It's got like a shower sink or shower bath combo. Then we have a little kiddo room, and it is really fun and minty green in here. It's very cluttered. I was really inspired by this little cow plant kind of growth chart that you have, and I love these shelves from Little Simsy's clutter office kit that the name on it is totally blanking me, but I thought it was super, super cute. Lots of cluttered items. And then on the balcony, I just added a child's skill building item for some arts and crafts. And then I have this like weird funky thing. The way I chose to do this house, this was a necessary evil. I couldn't do anything with it. I'm so sorry. It is a mess. And I knew it was a mess, but now that I'm looking at it again, it is really, really a mess. But if you come outside, you have another like porch area. Porch area with some cute little potted plants, like additional garden pots, and then like a side entrance. And I absolutely love this swing set from Growing Together with the pretty little lights. And actually, like at night, it does glow like ever so softly. And I just think it's really gorgeous, the side garden coming together. This house itself just feels like it belongs on this lot. I say that as someone who built it. Obviously I built it, but I just think it came together so beautifully, and I really, really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, you can get it on the gallery, but also make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Of course, you know I appreciate when you guys do that. If you want to see what other fun builds we have coming throughout this entire autumnal month, if you will, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to be nice to people unless they are getting in your space and smoking cigarettes while you are having a crisis. Then it's okay to be mildly abrasive. But don't forget to be nice to each other, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.